My priority is to improve the relationship between NATO and Russia.
Haven't we heard this before?
Some of those seeds are beginning to bear fruit.
A new partnership with NATO.
The new era.
Cooperation. Success.
2 decades after the fall of the Berlin Wall, will NATO's latest olive branch be big enough to finally bring Russia in from the cold? When the Cold War battle lines were drawn, the Secretary-General believed NATO had one simple goal: to keep the Russians out. But when the self-righteous Western democracies challenged the Eastern Bloc,
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
the wall, the Soviet Union and communism all collapsed, and NATO's enemy became a laughingstock. But it wasn't long before NATO found a new mission: expansion.
The West promised Russia that they wouldn't expand NATO into the territory of the former Soviet bloc. But this promise has been forgotten.
NATO's expansion into Central and Eastern Europe was driven very aggressively, I think essentially for geopolitical reasons to do with encircling Russia.
One by one, Warsaw Pact countries defected to the West. Surrounded, Russia lashed out.
That was Russia saying, if you try and extend NATO closer to our borders, we will go to war.
Russia! Russia! And now the shoe is on the other foot, and NATO is inviting Russia to join the summit.
I am very happy that the Russian president will take part in the NATO summit.
And it isn't just old Europe fetting Russia.
We see Russia as a partner, not an adversary.
Bush's proposed anti-ballistic defense installation once threatened Russia.
This idea, first and foremost, was aimed against the Russian interests.
But it's now being spun as a NATO initiative which really needs Russian cooperation. The NATO alliance is requesting and receiving Russian assistance on Iranian sanctions. And perhaps the most ironic twist, in Afghanistan, the scene of Russia's final humiliation. And the Russians are biting.
We will expand our cooperation in Afghanistan. It's in our common interest.
And the people agree. In the last year alone, the percentage of the Russian population who see NATO in a positive light has rocketed from 24 to 40%. It's far from a done deal, though. The talk is of potential partnership, not membership.
At present, I can see no circumstances in which Russia could join NATO.
But when the former Soviet leader is praising the flailing American president,
victory is impossible in Afghanistan. Obama is right to pull the troops out, no matter how difficult it will be.
We will do it together.
Maybe, just maybe, these two forces will actually hit the reset button this time.